Hello, everyone. I'm sure by now you must have assumed that I am mad. I know it gets very embarrassing when people introduce me at places with a long profile, but let me tell you, I have been confused all my life. Like you see here, from confusion to conclusion. Today, I am going to talk about how I have reached in my life to a conclusion from all the confusions that I had. Before I start speaking, let me explain to you what's lock, stock, barrel. In America, when they started producing guns, lock was made by one person, stock was made by the other, and the barrel was made by someone else. A guy who had to buy a gun had to go to three different places, and then came a trend, lock, stock, barrel. One person started making the lock, stock, and the barrel. It's as good as mixer, juicer, grinder. Do you understand? What I mean to say is when you are in trouble, when you are in problems, you have to be your lock, stock, barrel vendor. And you have to be your own juicer, mixer, grinder. Do you agree with this? It so happens most of the times that we fail because we decide to fail. In my case, life was quite funny. My name is Swapna, which means dream. I kept dreaming every time. And you know what we dream? We always dream about something that we cannot be. Will I dream about walking from this auditorium to the gate? No, because I can easily do it. But I will dream about something that I cannot do. There was a time in my life when I could do nothing, and that's how dreaming started in my life. Well, these two questions are the most dangerous questions that each one of us faces. Who do you love more, mom or dad? Everybody has to answer this question. This question is the stepping stone to politics because everyone learns to say both. We know if you say one name, the other person is going to turn into a dinosaur. And you don't want that. So that's where we start learning politics. And the second question is, what do you want to become when you grow up? And that is a reality question, which is more difficult to answer because no matter how much ahead you go in life, you don't know what you want to become. Even today, if you ask me, what do you want to become in life? I do not know because I don't think I have achieved what I wanted to. Well, I started with many options in life. In the pre-primary, I had amazing career options. An ice cream vendor, a fireman, a train driver, and a bus conductor. Well, for a pre-primary, these are quite a few options. I had my own reasons, probably because I could get access to ice cream every time. A train driver because he has a long vehicle to drive. A bus conductor, the tick-tick, have you heard of that punching machine that they carry? I used to love the sound. And probably a fireman because all the cartoons show that the fireman is a hero. I always wanted to become all this, but that was the age. Thank God, I went to the primary. And my career options changed drastically. I had matured. I had started learning civics. Then I wanted to be the Prime Minister of India. And I also wanted to be a scientist. Maybe both. So I could be thinking about Modi ji and APJ Abdul Kalam at the same time. Imagine what a lethal combination I would have been right now. But God saved me and I went to secondary. My secondary explorations were quite different because by then I realized that you have to earn. Money doesn't come for free. I started doing a lot of activities like skating, drawing, badminton, vocal music, and I took all of them seriously. If I played badminton, I played at the district level. I learned music for 8 years. I was a great skater. Everything perfect. But people used to call me a jack of all trades and master of none. They didn't know that I was doing everything for fun. I never wanted to master anything. My idea of doing everything that I did in life was just to have fun and explore my life. While I was busy exploring my life, I was planning for a further career. I was thinking about different things, but don't we know when you are planning, God is also planning something for you? But mind it, when God is planning, even your mom is planning some third thing for you. And that's exactly what happened. I was going through a mind program. Every morning, afternoon, evening, I was told in a sedation, you are going to become an engineer. Oh, you must eat well, you have to do engineering studies. No, 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 it's okay, you are going to become an engineer. And it was fed so badly that I didn't know any other career option but engineering. My mother's neuro-linguistic programming worked on me, and I ended up in an engineering course, a civil engineering course. By the way, the fun part is that the first day of my college, I knew I am doomed. For the kind of person I am, for 63 plus 27, even today I need a calculator. And I was in an engineering college. In the math class, for the first day, I felt like a suicide bomber, someone who plans to die. Maths was something which was never my forte. You know that college fun and all that you plan before you enter a college? It was all murdered. But yes, things improved. Well, engineering colleges are like deserts, you know what I mean? But then there was an oasis in my college that was a very interesting professor. Well, interesting because he was an amazing orator, and I used to like the hilarious programs that he used to have. Slowly and steadily, I tried to connect with him. I tried to assist him in his personality development programs post-college. I just loved it. And I realized I like to talk to people. I like to assess people. And I like to understand people. That's psychology. I must learn psychology. But you know, the logic inside me said, no, you're not in pre-primary. You cannot be the fireman and truck driver at the same time. You are in engineering and do your engineering. But who cares? Sometimes you just have to take logic for a toss. I ended up joining a distance course for psychology. I was doing engineering and psychology at the same time. Imagine the pressure. It was like two timing. You will not believe how difficult it was. At times, I had an engineering concrete technology paper in the morning, and I had a fundamentals of psychology in the evening. But I had a best friend. While I was going through all this, my best friend, my commode. You know why? Because every time I used to sit with my psychology papers or books, my family or everybody around me used to feel, oh my God, she's wasting the engineering study time. What is happening? So I had the perpetual diarrhea for 2 years. I used to get into the toilet, and on the commode, I started doing my psychology studies. After a few years, maybe, I realized that is the best place to study. You can try, no disclaimer. Please try. I started doing engineering also on the commode because I felt that, yeah, this is where my brain works. Why not? And thankfully, I completed most of my studies that you see here on the commode. Well, I finished my engineering, psychology, and then got into MBA because, you know, MBA is like that extra cheese. Engineering is the burger in India, and MBA is the extra cheese. You have to have it, otherwise it's no use. I joined MBA. Well, I joined MBA, but the passion of psychology does not die. You know, sometimes you just love something, you just can't leave it. So I said, why not? You've done two timing once. Second time, big deal. I joined a master's course in psychology. And yeah, the same story started. I continued doing my master's and my MBA at the same time. Of course, my friend never left me. And I completed my MBA and psychology also. Of course, I started working with my father and I started earning also. But then by then, I knew that I can do a lot of things at the same time which made sense. But someday you have to decide that you will commit and you will stop two timing. I did it. One fine day, I went to my father and I said, now I want to do PhD. My father was reactionless because he realized this is not going to stop and there is no use telling anything to this woman. Nobody had any problems, but he just said, you know what? You remind me of a man, Dr. Shrikant Jizkar. He is an IS officer from Maharashtra. I didn't know who he was. Generally, after the commode, my second best friend is Google. So I went to Google and I figured out who is this Shrikant Jizkar. This man is an MBBS MD. He's a CA. He's a lawyer. He's a PhD in Sanskrit, and maybe I will spend all my time telling you about his degrees. For the first time in my life, I felt I'm not mad. There are people like me, and I'm okay, I'm normal. Because I have heard from many people say you need treatment. For the first time, I felt I don't need treatment. I will give treatment post my psychology. I started doing PhD. My journey of studies never stopped. It went on, and I can list out different kinds of degrees. While I was doing my psychology, I realized I end with therapies. Because I'm not a doctor, I cannot prescribe. So then comes BHMS. My mentor, Dr. Praful Vijaykar, who's a great homeopath, told me that you just don't worry about all the degrees that you have and the time that you have to spend about in studies. Curiosity never killed the cat. Curiosity only educated the cat. And there's nothing wrong if you learn more. I joined BHMS. Well, people have given up. They don't tell me anything anymore. My son tells me probably we will go for an exam together someday, which is quite a possibility, and I'm okay with it. But you will not believe, today, I'm doing many things. Many things, like I'm an engineer, MBA, psychologist, homeopath, and you have a list of things. When you become all that, at some point of time, there is a superiority complex that enters. You feel, I have been there and done that. I'm an engineer, I can analyze things very well. I'm a homeopath, I can treat people. I'm a psychologist, I can analyze people's minds. I can do so many things, I'm great. I have learned a lot. I have achieved knowledge. Yes, people feel like that. But there is a way God tells us things. I was actually saying, I have the power like He-Man. And God said, okay, let's try. And there came a situation in my life, just this year, in March 2017. I literally started feeling that education is something which has taken me so ahead that I know it all. And on this day in March, mostly 26th if I remember, everything went for a toss. My son was going for a camp to Goa. Generally post exams, kids go to camps, right? And I had gone to a station to drop him. I could see around 26 children and their parents at the station. I went to the parents, I was talking to them, the tour operator was trying to explain things to everybody. The tour operator asked all the children to get into the train. My son also got into the train, and I was watching him. Oh my God, he's so busy. He's not looking at me, and he's having fun. 7 days, I'm not going to meet my son. He's not going to meet me. This is the same guy who says, I can't live without you, I miss you so much. Please come home early, and this guy is just not bothered. He's not even looking at me. You know, all the mothers feel like that. And I forgot, I am normal. I am a mother also. And suddenly I started giving all these checks. I kept looking at him. You know, in these movies, Shah Rukh Khan movies, you see Palat. Nothing happened, I'm sorry. He was so busy in the train, nothing like that happened. I was trying to get his attention. I failed. Suddenly I remembered I have to give him the earphone that I'm carrying. I called him, screamed at him, and I said, yes, take your earphone. I gave him my earphone. He just pulled it and went inside. I said, where am I? I mean, what's wrong? Suddenly, in like 10 minutes, we reached station and everything in my life has changed because my life revolves around my child and his life revolves around me. How is it that he is ignoring me at this moment? It was very difficult to bear. I could hear the siren. The train started moving slowly. I started walking with the train. You know how filmy mothers in India are? The train was moving, I was moving. The train was catching speed, I was catching speed, but I'm not Usain Bolt. So there was a time when the train went faster than me. Faster, 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 and one glance, man, look at me. This was what I was feeling. I just turned behind and I saw these parents so far away. I had actually ran the whole platform and it would end in just 2 minutes and the train passed by. It was the most difficult situation of my life till date. Reason being, we always are dreaming about ourselves. We always are thinking about self. I just forgot that he is an individual. The way I explored my life, I did multiple things, I two-timed with my careers, he is also going to do the same thing. The engineer in me had failed that day because I could not analyze the situation. The psychologist in me had failed that day because I could not understand that today is not about me, it's about him. I have to be happy. I have to be happy that the train has passed. I have to be happy that my son is happy. And I have to be happy that he is exploring the same way I did. If I was not allowed to explore, probably I could have done nothing in life. Why should I stop my son from exploring things? Why am I being that mother who's not letting him do what he wants? And probably that was the biggest lesson, or maybe that is the biggest degree that I have got till date. And I called it the Masters of Happiness. From that day, I realized that if I have the rights of exploring my careers, my life, my hobbies and everything, everybody else in my life also has. You just have to love people and set them free. Let them be happy and let them explore the world. Exploration is the only thing that can help a person grow. And if you stop people from exploring, they will never grow. And since then, I am a student of Masters of Happiness. I am sure from what I have told you today, you will also realize that you should join this course of Masters of Happiness. Beyond this day, the only thing that I do is I dream, but I dream only of happiness, nothing else. Thank you.